Okay, that was really frustrating. Do you ever feel like God isn't listening to you and you're talking, you're praying, and he just isn't listening? Your audio is off. Do you ever feel that way?
All right, kids, we're talking the Old Testament here. Going Genesis to Malachi, every book, 39. Let's take a look. Genesis, the beginning of it all. Creation, man, and the fall. Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, history. Joshua, Judges, Ruth. 1 Samuel, the Bible is the truth. 2 Samuel, 1st and 2nd King. 1 Chronicles, 2nd Chronicles, Sing. Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm. Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel. Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah. Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and we finally end with Malachi. Now you know, today we're in Joshua. Here we go.
The Battle of Jericho was over. God had caused the walls to fall, and he had given the city to Joshua. God had shown how he would fight for his people as well as respond to their prayers. The kings of the surrounding area heard about Jericho's defeat, and so they quickly combined their armies to fight Joshua and the Israelites. But instead of fighting, the people of Gibeon decided to see if they could trick Joshua. They sent men to Joshua dressed like they had been on a long journey. They had worn-out clothes and patched shoes. They put old, beat-up bags on their donkeys, and they had dry, moldy bread to eat.
Yummy.
When they arrived at the camp of Israel, they said, "We have traveled far to ask for a peace treaty with you." Joshua demanded, "Who are you? Where do you come from?" And they said to him, "We are from a very distant country. We have heard of the might of the Lord your God and of all that he did in Egypt. So our elders and our people instructed us to make this long journey to you and declare our nation to be friends and ask for peace." The Israelites believed the strangers and made a treaty with them. But 3 days later, Joshua discovered they had lied. Joshua summoned their leaders and demanded, "Why have you lied? You said you lived in a distant land, but you actually live right here. Now you are cursed. You will forever give us servants to chop wood and carry water for the service of our God." They replied, "We did it because we were told that your God instructed Moses to conquer this entire land and destroy the people living in it. So we feared for our lives. But now we are here in your hands. You may do with us as you wish." When the king of Jerusalem heard how Joshua had captured and destroyed Ai just like Jericho, and how Gibeon was now an ally with Israel, he was very frightened. So that king sent messengers to the other Amorite kings saying, "I need your help to attack Gibeon. They have made peace with Joshua and the people of Israel." So the Amorite kings combined their armies to attack Gibeon. But the men of Gibeon hurriedly sent a message to Joshua, "Help, come quickly and save us, for the kings of the Amorites are attacking us." So Joshua and the Israelite army quickly left Gilgal and went to rescue Gibeon. The Lord said to Joshua, "Don't be afraid of them, for they are already defeated. I have given them to you to destroy. Not a single one of them will be able to stand up to you." Joshua's army traveled all night from Gilgal and took the enemy army by surprise. God threw the Amorites into a panic so that the Israelites defeated them at Gibeon, and then they chased what was left of the Amorites up into the hills, as well as really far out into the valleys. God even brought hailstones down to help the Israelites win. During the battle, Joshua prayed to God. Joshua was asking God for a special sign that would bring fear to their enemies. Let the sun stand still over Gibeon, and let the moon stand in its place over the valley of Ajalon. God heard Joshua and gave the Israelites that advantage until they finished destroying the Amorites. God listened to Joshua's prayer and helped the Israelites win.
Now, do you ever feel like you're talking like super loud? Like I was pretty much yelling, it felt like, and no one's hearing you, or God isn't hearing you when you're praying, or even when you're just talking and you feel like no one is listening and no one can hear you. Well, let me tell you something. God is listening. God is always listening, whether you're praying or just talking. He is listening and seeing if you really need something, and he can provide it. One time, I'm in school, I was like, I have no friends. This was in 4th grade. I have no friends in here. I have a couple, but I didn't feel like I really had a lot of friends like in my class and I could talk to. So I was like praying, God, please give me some friends in my 5th grade class. And when I found out who I had in my class, I pretty much knew everyone. I don't think there was like one person I didn't know. And I was very thankful to God because God was listening and he answered my prayer. But I've also learned that God doesn't always answer prayers in the way we expect him to answer the prayer. If we keep praying like, oh God, I really pray I can visit my best friend who just moved. Sometimes God will say, okay, you can visit your friend who just moved, but it's going to be in a long time. So he answered the prayer, just not always in the way you want. There probably are many other ways that you know that you've prayed for something, and God probably has answered the prayer, just not in the way you were hoping for. For prayer, I have this journal. I just write some things down I want to pray for so I can remember and think, okay, I'm going to keep praying for this person, thing, a wish I have, and I'll write it down. And it helps me remember the things because sometimes they're the things I really remember and I keep praying for. Sometimes they're the things I'm like, oh, I should be praying for this. So I'm going to write it in my journal. And even if you don't have a journal, you can start praying anytime like you could say, okay, today I'm going to start praying and I'm going to choose this time to pray, or I'm just going to try to pray once a day by myself, for me, or for my friends or family. And that works. Or you could write it down as your prayers because God is always listening. You can pray to God about anything and everything, no matter how big and crazy it sounds or how small and little it is. God never has his audio off. He always has it on 24/7 and is always listening to your prayers, wants, and wishes. Again, no matter what the size it is or how crazy to you, or he'll think how crazy it is. God is always listening to you.